December 1944, the Ardennes Forest, Belgium. The cold is not merely a temperature here, it is a physical weight, pressing down on the spine of the world. The trees are black skeletons against a sky the color of a fresh bruise. The ground is frozen iron, ringing hard under the boots of men who have forgotten what warmth feels like. Oberfeldwebel Kuno Detlefsen leans against the hull of his Panzer VA USFB, the King Tiger. He is 53, a man from the clockmaking district of Glashütte. His hands, once steady enough to set the hairspring of a chronometer, are now wrapped in rags, blue with frostbite. Beside him, the Tiger is silent. It is a masterpiece of engineering, 70 tons of sloped armor and high-velocity violence. But it is dead. A final drive gear shattered 3 days ago. The part is unique to this production batch. A replacement would have to be shipped from a factory in Kossel that was bombed into dust last week. So, the king sits on its throne of mud, useless, a magnificent statue marking the grave of the Reif. Across the clearing, near the captured American depot, the enemy is busy. Private First Class Elias Thorne, a 20-year-old from the sprawling steel mills of Pittsburgh, is whistling. He wears a wool cap pulled low and a jacket that is too big for him. He looks less like a soldier and more like a mechanic changing a tire on a Sunday afternoon. Elias stands next to an M for Sherman. But this is not a normal tank. Kuno squints through the falling snow. The machine is hideous. It is a patchwork abomination. The hull is the dark olive drab of the standard issue. The turret, however, is painted in a winter whitewash that is peeling away like dead skin. The gun mantlet is black, scorched by fire. It is a mongrel, a stray dog made of steel. Kuno waters as Elias drags a heavy steel crate toward the tank. The Sherman has taken a hit to the suspension. The bogie assembly is sheared off. In the German army, this is a fatal wound. The tank would be abandoned, stripped, and left to rust. Elias opens the crate. He pulls out a suspension unit. It is not new. It is covered in dried mud and red rust. It has clearly been ripped from a corpse. Kuno realizes, with a jolt of nausea, that he recognizes the unit. It came from a Sherman destroyed in the valley 2 days ago. The American does not measure, he does not check the serial numbers. He does not consult a manual regarding the stress tolerances of used springs. He simply kicks the damaged wheel free with a brutal, indifferent violence. Clang! The broken metal falls into the snow. Kuno holds his breath. He waits for the incompatibility. Every tank settles differently. The wear patterns are like fingerprints. You cannot take the leg of one soldier and sew it onto another and expect him to run. It is against the laws of mechanics. It is against the laws of nature. Elias slides the scavenged bogie onto the mounting bolts. He spins a wrench. There is no hesitation. The bolts thread. The metal mates. The scavenged limb accepts the new body without a whisper of protest. Kuno feels a cold sweat break out under his wool tunic. It is a horror deeper than the fear of death. It is the horror of the unnatural. He walks forward, drawn by a morbid curiosity he cannot control. The guard ignores him. Kuno is an old man, unarmed, broken. "It fits?" Kuno asks, his voice trembling. He points a shaking finger at the suspension. Elias looks up, wiping grease onto his pants. He grins, revealing teeth stained by tobacco. He pats the flank of the tank. Fits like a glove. Pop! Kuno stares at the tank. He sees the weld lines where armor plates have been replaced. He sees the different shades of paint. This tank, Kuno whispers. It is new, Elias laughs. It is a dry, barking sound. New? Hell no! The hull landed at Omaha Beach in June. The turret? We pulled that off a wreck in the Herchen Forest last month. The engine is from a recovery vehicle we scrapped in Paris. Kuno steps back. The world tilts. This is not a machine. This is a ghost. It is a phantom stitched together from the graveyards of Europe. It has died 3 times. It has been killed, gutted, and resurrected by boys who treat resurrection like an oil change. It is... The Ship of Theseus, Kuno murmurs. The ship of who? Elias asks, tightening the final bolt. A philosophical paradox, Kuno says, his eyes wide with a terrifying realization. If you replace every part of a ship, is it still the same ship? Or is it something else? Elias shrugs, lighting a cigarette with a match struck against the tank's armor. I don't know about philosophy, Pop. I just know it runs. And if it gets hit tomorrow, we'll bolt a new front on it and keep going to Berlin. Kuno looks back at his king tiger. It is proud. It is unique. It died with dignity because it could not be debased. It refused to accept the parts of lesser machines. It had a soul, and that soul has left. But this American thing, this Sherman, it has no soul. It is a zombie. It cannot die because it was never truly alive. It is just a collection of interchangeable geometries, a swarm of parts that can be reconfigured endlessly. It is a virus made of steel. Kuno begins to weep. He does not cry for the fatherland. He does not cry for his lost home in Glashütte. He cries because he sees the future. The age of the artisan is over. The age of the individual is dead. The future belongs to the swarm, to the things that have no identity, and therefore can never be destroyed. He looks at Elias, who is already climbing into the turret, vanishing into the belly of the beast. The engine coughs, then roars to life. It is a hungry, mindless sound. The zombie tank lurches forward, crushing the pristine snow under tracks made from the metal of the dead. Kuno stands alone in the exhaust fumes. He feels small. He feels obsolete. He realizes that the Wehrmacht was not defeated by superior soldiers. It was eaten alive by a monster that could regenerate its limbs faster than they could be cut off. 11 years later, November 1955, Detroit, Michigan. The rain in America tastes different. It tastes of soot and sulfur. Kuno walks down Woodward Avenue. He is 64 now, working as a janitor in a high school. He refuses to work in the factories. He cannot bear the smell of the assembly line. The street is filled with cars, beautiful, chrome-lined automobiles. The 55 Chevys, the Fords, the Pontiacs, they glide past him in a river of bright colors. To anyone else, this is the American dream. This is prosperity. But Kuno does not walk on the sidewalk. He presses himself against the brick walls of the buildings, as far away from the street as possible. He stares at the cars with a look of pure, unadulterated terror. A young colleague, a teacher named Jim, spots him. Jim pulls his brand-new Ford Fairlane over to the curb. "Hey, Kuno!" Jim shouts through the rain. "Get in! I'll give you a ride! You'll catch your death out there!" Kuno freezes. He looks at the car. He sees the shiny grille. But his mind overlays the image of the Sherman in the snow. He sees the parts. He knows that if this car crashes, its alternator will go into another car. Its door will fit another frame. "No," Kuno whispers, backing away. "Come on, it's leather seats." "Heated," Jim insists, smiling. Kuno shakes his head violently. He sees the truth that no one else sees. These are not cars. They are coffins waiting for occupants. They are soulless husks that will outlive their owners, cannibalizing each other in junkyards, living forever in a cycle of industrial necromancy. I will walk, Kuno says, his voice flat and final. I prefer the rain. The rain is ... unique. Every drop is different. Jim shrugs and drives away, the tail lights fading into the mist. Kuno watches him go. He pulls his coat tighter. He is the last man on earth who remembers that things are supposed to die. He walks alone into the dark, terrified of a world where everything is replaceable, and nothing, not even a human life, is one of a kind anymore. We thought we were building machines to serve us, but we built a system that erased us. In a world where every part can be swapped, the only tragedy is that the human soul is the only thing that does not fit into the inventory.